Hey guys, hope you guys are good, hope you guys are great. Today we have a sit-down video, and if you've been wanting to start running but do not know where to start, this video is for you. So here's what I wish someone told me before I started running. Here's my story. I started running last year, right? It was just hype. And I'm a gym girly, you guys know this. So I was like, okay, I start with my gym shoe, run with my gym shoe. I felt no, it's a bit tight. So that means I need a running shoe. And because I was so excited, I just went to the store. I didn't do much research on how I could actually determine what kind of a runner I am. I wasn't even aware there's such a thing. Like, it might sound silly, but I wasn't aware that there's such a thing where people are just different runners. But now that I know, it's like, oh, darn. So I went straight to Nike and I got the shoe. And then I started running. And what happens? I started experiencing shin splints. What are shin splints? We'll get to that on a later video. I wish someone would have told me, girl, relax, slow down. Don't go into a rabbit hole of shoes, but go to a sports shop, get on the treadmill, let them test what kind of runner you are, get the shoe that's fit for your feet or for you, right? I had no idea that you have to get a shoe that's catered for the type of runner you are. I didn't know there's even different types of runners. It might sound silly, but I had no idea. It's only later on, after I've bought the shoe, that I found out. So to know, actually, you can go to in South Africa, we have a sportsman warehouse. I think there's more shops where you can get on the treadmill, they record your run, and they kind of show you from different brands with different price ranges. It's okay, this is the kind of shoe that you need, and you can choose from that. So I went ahead and I bought my Nike because I was super excited. I was like, okay, I need a running shoe, so I need to get a shoe. And I just went straight to Nike. I was like, I'm looking for a comfortable running shoe. And they were like, okay, try this one out, try this one out. Obviously, the price range was also like a determining factor. I could say, am I going to get this shoe or am I going to get this shoe? So I got these Nike shoes. And I won't lie, they are comfortable, but at first I struggled a bit. Because also there's another thing that you don't, like how I land on my feet is what also matters. That's why you need a shoe that's catered to your feet, because how you land determines if you're going to get injuries or not. So if you're using a wrong shoe and it's not supporting how you land, you're going to get injuries. Okay, so that's the first thing. Go to a sports shop, get an analysis of what type of runner you are, and get the right shoe. You don't have to get the most expensive shoe or the most trending shoe. Get the shoe that's fit for your feet. Secondly, socks. Okay, this took me a while. I was using just my normal gym socks. And then I learned about runners' toes, that runners lose their toes. I'm like, no, I'm just a girl. I don't want to be the girl without toes because that also sounds painful. And I'm afraid of pain. So you have to get the right socks. So I recently, again, I think I love Nike. I think I just love Nike. I recently went to Nike and I was like, I need a very comfortable running socks. And I went to ChatGPT and I was like, can you recommend Nike running socks? And I got these thick ones, which is recommended. And I've used them. They're very comfortable. I won't lie, they're very comfortable. And then, but they're so pricey. For like a pair of socks is 450, which is like super, super ridiculous. But you know, there's things that we want to spend money for, and there's things that we just don't want to spend money for. So then someone recommended the Versus socks to me, and I recently just got 2 pairs, and I ran my last 10-kilometer race with them, and they were amazing. They feel like they also compression socks because like they hold you tight, and they're super light versus the Nike ones. The Nike ones are thicker, but they're also comfortable. And the Versus one are light and super tight, which is also comfortable. So I found the comfortable pair of socks, and those pair of socks cost about 200 at Sportsman Warehouse. Or just if you just Google, you'll find shops that sell them. And I mean, you don't need to have like 10 pair of socks. You know, I have 3 pair of socks. It's the Nike and the two pairs of the Versus socks, and I can just rotate amongst them, amongst the three pairs. So one thing I forgot to mention is that when you're buying shoes, make sure that you size up. Do not buy a pair of shoes. Like, I'm a size 6. I'm not gonna go buy a size 6. That's why it was uncomfortable to run with my gym shoes, because my gym shoes were size 6, you know. But now my running shoes are size 7, and that's why I can also get away with wearing those Nike thick socks, because it doesn't cause friction, you know. But can you imagine if you're wearing like a tight shoe and then you're wearing thick socks and then you're running? I think that's what happens, and then you end up losing your toes. Girlies, we don't want to lose our toes. We do not want to lose our toes. I personally do not want to lose my toes. Again, the whole point is not for you to have a huge budget for you to start running. You can use what you have. Say you don't have a running belt or a running vest, but you have tights that have pockets. Use that. So in your pockets, you can put your key, you can put your phone, you can put your tissue and your gel. Like, it could literally fit, you know. So I'm not saying you need to get a running vest or a running belt before you can start running. No, use what you have. Okay, let's talk about sunscreen and a cap. Guys, you don't want to faint. You don't want to cause drama on the road. It's already dramatic that we're running, and now you're out, you're fainting because you're dehydrated or you're burning, or I don't know. So make sure you have a cap. I feel like everyone has a cap, and caps aren't expensive. Cap, sunscreen. If you're living on planet Earth, you are already using sunscreen. So make sure that when you're out for a run, whether it's in the morning, even if the sun is not out as yet, put on your sunscreen. Even if you're doing a late night run, not night, but like late run, put on your sunscreen, you know. Some people prefer to run with longer tights. I prefer short tights because I feel like I'm suffocating with longer tights. I'll only wear something long when it's cold. And then you can also wear long sleeve. If not, you can just put on sunscreen. Make sure that you have a little water bottle. I see some people carrying it and running with it. I have one that I just put in my vest. But if you don't have a vest, you can just carry a water bottle. Okay? So when it comes to earphones, it's personal preference. Some people prefer to run without music. Some people prefer music. I'm kind of both, but 90% of the time I run with music. I haven't bought any new headsets or earpods for my running. I use what I have. I've got two pairs. I have the headsets and I have the earpods. And depending on my mood, it's what I use. And yeah, so you don't need to go and buy whatever that was recommended by some running influencer. You know, like, the whole point is just use what you have. Don't make excuses and say, oh, I need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. So even with like socks and shoes, if you really don't have comfortable shoes, because you're still beginning, like let's say it's your first month, you can just start to prove to yourself that you are going to stick to this new form of habit that you started. Test it out for a month before buying all this gear, and then having not to even be consistent. So try it for a month, use what you have for a month, and then once you can see it's okay, I actually enjoy this and I'm actually I'm gonna continue doing it, then you can reward yourself and get yourself maybe a good pair of shoes or a good pair of socks, you know, but use what you have. Okay, next thing that's so super important is your mindset. Don't compare yourself to other people that have been running. I remember when I started running and I would post like my run on from Strava, like I posted on other social media platforms. I'd get comments like, oh, but you're walking, because my pace was like 10 minutes. And I remember asking this person, how long have you been running and what's your pace? And they said like 10 years. I'm like, exactly. I've just started. So stop comparing yourself to me and stop leaving such negative comments, you know. So you need to just ignore people. Don't look at people running marathons and they're running 4 minutes per kilometer or 3 minutes per kilometer, that person has experience. So I use Strava and the Apple Health app that's linked to my Strava. And I know different people have different views of Strava. Some people feel like Strava puts pressure on them or whatever because they see someone else's pace. For me, Strava is such a huge motivator because if I wake up and I see someone has already run 5 kilometers, I'm just like, oh, okay, I need to get my game on. And I put on my running shoes, off I go, you know. And I believe I do the same for other people. Strava doesn't depress me. I love Strava. I'm just like, yeah, of course, some people, well, most people won't give you kudos. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but like, it's for you to also see how you've improved, you know. And yeah, so you can download Strava, the free version, and some people use Nike. I don't use Nike because I don't benefit from Nike. In a sense, you could say it's linked to my discovery and it's a whole point issue. So yeah, I prefer to use Strava and the Apple Health running app. So now you've got all your stuff that you need to get your running going and you've started your run. Also, to note is not about the distance. Don't go there and see people running 10 kilometers just in randomly. And then you're also like, oh, I need to run 10. You can literally start at 3 or 2 kilometers. It's not about the distance, it's about you doing it. It's about you starting. Okay, so don't put yourself under too much pressure that you need to go so far, you need to run 15. That will come gradually. Okay. And the most important thing is stretching. Stretching before you run and stretching after you run will make or break you, because if you don't stretch before, you shock your body. If you don't stretch after, your body is still going to be in shock, you know, and then you start getting injuries, and then the next one will be very painful. So stretch before. There's so much videos on TikTok for stretches before and stretches after running, and please do stretch. Another important thing is rest days and strength training. Now that you're running, you need to rest, you need to sleep, you need to eat right, you need to strength train your body. Your legs are going to be doing so much. You need them to be strong. So you don't need a gym membership for strength training. You can do that at home. There's so much home workouts that uses body weight for strength training, you know. As much as in the beginning I always thought that legs are super important, turns out also your core is important, you know. So every part of your body, it needs to be strong. So do strength training, have a schedule. You don't have to run 7 days a week. You can run 2 days, you can run 3 days, because in between you need to have your strength training and you need to have your rest days. So you need to be kind to your body because your body's doing too much, you know. So make sure you sleep. Sleep is the best thing for runners. Rest is the best thing for runners. The right amount of nutrition. Do research on that. I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't really give tips on what to eat and what not to eat because I ain't a qualified nutritionist. Okay, I'm still just like trying my best to eat right. If this video helped you and you've been considering to run but didn't know where to start, as much as there's so much information on the internet, I think most of the time it's people who are running, posting blogs on their runs, but like sometimes you just need to know, where do I start? If this video has helped you, please drop a comment. Let me know if you're gonna start running. Drop your Strava name. We can follow each other and we can just give each other kudos. Okay. So yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you. Bye.